When I was in the seminary, I was assigned to a parish. And the pastor at that parish every year would designate one Sunday to be Sit in a Different Pew Sunday. And I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish by that. I think he was just having fun with the people because he knew of our tendency always to sit in the same pew Sunday after Sunday. And at one of my parishes, I even remember a woman saying to me, "Father, I've been sitting in the same pew for 19 years because if I don't, the people in the neighboring pews start to worry about me. They wonder where I am." And I thought, well, that's beautiful. That's nice. It's good to know that you have your own little neighborhoods, even in your pews. And it has been made very clear to all of us here at Annunciation that we will be sitting in a different pew for a long time to come because of what happened here on Wednesday morning. And the church gives us these readings to reflect on. I didn't choose the readings for Mass this morning. These are the same readings that Catholics all around the world will be hearing today. Catholics all around the world will be reflecting on these same readings. And the very obvious theme for these readings is humility. Our first reading exhorts us, conduct your affairs with humility. And then Jesus gives us a parable. He tells us when you are invited to a banquet, don't take the seat of honor. Instead, take the lowest place. And my good people of Annunciation, good people of Minneapolis, all of our neighbors, we are in a very low place. It's a place that we could never have imagined, even in our worst nightmares. We are not in our beautiful, comfortable, normal worship space. But even so, look where we are. Look around. This is a space where Catholics gathered for decades. The good people of Annunciation, the Annunciation school children gathered in this space for decades to pray and to celebrate Mass, well before they finally got around to building that new church a little further up the hill in 1961. So you can say that we have come back. We've come back to our humble beginnings. And Jesus invites us to have a humble heart. And so we recognize that this is, for all of us, it's a humble beginning. And it won't be easy, and we'll never be able to get back to the same place. But what we do is we begin again. We begin anew. And that's kind of the tricky part of the virtue of humility, is that we don't always get to choose. We don't get to make the seating chart. Sometimes we do get to sit in that place of honor. And when we sit there, it just seems like the world is at our feet, and the sun is shining, and everybody's singing our favorite song, and our team is winning. And other times we get to sit in a very comfortable seat. It's got a lot of cushions. It's a place of rest. And there's often surprise blessings along the way. Maybe we can reach down in the cushions and find some coins that somebody lost out of their pockets. So sometimes we get to sit in nice seats. But sometimes we have to sit in the dust. And that's hard. That's a humble seat. Nobody likes to live there. Nobody likes to sit there. But maybe the best thing we can do is just sit there. Don't try to run. We don't try not to be afraid. As Jesus speaks to us there and he says, "Can you just sit with me here in the dust. You know, that's the dust where Jesus fell when he was carrying the cross. That's the dust that soaked up Jesus' blood as he was on the way to crucifixion. And Jesus says, can you please stay with me a while in this humble place, in this lowest place? Don't try to run. We don't even have to talk. Can you Jesus says, just be with me in this lowest place. And we're afraid. You know, we cry out, Jesus, we don't like it here. We don't like to be down here. We're afraid. But Jesus says, I know. Just wait here with me. Just be here with me. And that was the very same message when that first bullet came through the window. And the voices cried out, down, get to the lowest place, and stay down. And it was hard, and we didn't want to be there. But now, looking back more than ever, we know that that's where Jesus was. That's where he can always be found, in that lowest place. And when we were down there with Jesus, he showed us something. He showed us that even in this place of fear, even in this place of darkness and death and sorrow, I am Lord even here. I am the one who descended down into hell, and I have seen it, and it has been overcome. And together, when we were down there in that lowest place, as we are still down there in that lowest place, we are able to look the forces of darkness and the forces of evil. We're able to look it in the eye, and Jesus points, and he says, see, look at that. Look how weak it is. Look how desperate it is. Look how it's very clear that this is not what wins in the end. Look and see that this is not what God ever intended for us. And when we hear that voice of Jesus, it comes to our hearts, and a little light starts to dawn. And so that's what we wait for now, and that's what we welcome. We welcome the dawn of a new day. Here at Annunciation, we welcome the light of a new day. And it's a light that will scatter every darkness. It's a light that will never fade. It's a light not just for us, it's the light of the world. And it is the light of Jesus Christ. And we watch for that light, because when the forces of darkness and sin and evil and death have done its worst, that's when God says, now just watch to see what I will do. Because there is no darkness that God can't bring light from. There's no sorrow that God can't bring joy from. There's no grieving that Jesus can't bring comfort to. And there's no dying that Jesus can't raise to new life. So we keep watching for that light. And there's a scripture story I've been sharing with people from the Old Testament, and it's a passage in the Old Testament where the Israelites were in battle. They were being fought against by their enemies. So Moses lifted his hands in prayer, and as long as Moses could lift his hands in prayer, the Israelites would prosper in the battle. But when Moses got tired and his arms started to droop, the Israelites would fall back in battle. So what did they do? They put a rock under Moses, and Aaron and Hur stood by him and lifted his hands in prayer so that he could keep his hands in prayer and that the battle could keep going in the right direction. And that's what we've been experiencing in so many ways around here. All of you, all of our neighbors, all of our community, police, first responders, they've been our rock underneath us. And they will continue to be a rock for us. There's so many people who will be continuing to hold up our hands in prayer. The children, the families, they will continue to be that rock underneath us. Harper and Fletcher will always be that rock underneath us that keeps our hands raised in prayer, seeking for good, fighting for good, and knowing the battle belongs to the Lord, and we keep our eyes on him. It's been a tremendous outpouring of love. It's kind of the funny mystery that when the darkness is most intense, that's when the light of God shines all the more brightly. And we've been seeing that in so many ways. I have never seen such an outpouring of love. I have never been so proud of the faithful followers of Jesus. I've never been so grateful for our church. I've never been so filled with love that just comes from above and beyond. So we welcome the light of a new day at Annunciation. And it's a light, it will never fade. It will grow stronger. And it will last and reach all the way up to that eternal glory that has been promised to us all.